All right, my friends, it is Monday, April 27th, and we are well into spring. Today, for our writer's block, I hope you had a chance to listen to the story about spring that I posted. And we're going to think about everything we know about spring. And we're going to make a nice spring chart that organizes our thoughts. So I'm going to put a title at the top. I always have my board upside down. My title at the top, I'm going to leave it upside down, says Spring. And I want 3 charts. I'm going to use I'm a little out of focus here. I'm going to use my line here just to give me 3 in a table that are maybe a little neater than if I did them by hand. And then I'm just going to finish them off by hand. And we want to make our chart, it's a 3-line chart. And one of the titles is going to be, what do people do in spring? My P didn't come out. What do plants do in spring? And what do animals do in spring? Now, my friends, I want you to go ahead and make your chart as detailed as you possibly can. Think of all the things people do in spring. Well, I know I went out with no coat. I went walking. I planted some seeds. I raked my grass. And I have a dog, so I had to pick up my dog's winter poop, but I don't think I'm going to write that on my list. What else can you do in spring? Maybe you're going to go outside and play baseball. Maybe you're going to ride a bike or a scooter. My list could be very much longer, but I ran out of space. Let's think about what happens to plants in spring. Well, we know that plants start to grow. We might not be able to see them, but under the dirt they start to grow. Buds appear on our trees. Maybe some early spring flowers are poking through the ground. My grass is turning green. I'm going to squeeze in green, even though that meant I didn't leave a very big space in between those words. What else are plants doing? Oh, some of the trees are going to blossom. Blossom happens when fruit trees and fruit bushes start to get their little flowers on all over them that are going to grow into the fruit on the tree. Buds are where all the leaves are hiding. So those are just 2 different things. Blossoms become the fruit on plants. They are the flower part. And buds are where all the leaves are hiding. Animals, I know that birds come back. I'm just going to write down birds come. And that big word was migrate. Remember that a lot of birds migrated to warm areas in the winter. And then those birds will come back. The birds that are always here are going to still be here. We might see animals wake up. You know, from their hibernation. Hibernate. We're definitely going to see the animals are more active, even the ones that didn't hibernate. They're out and about looking for food. They're building nests. They're finding ways to where it's safe to have their babies. That all kind of happens in the spring. And the reason we have babies for animals in the spring is the summer is the best time to raise a baby animal. It's nice outside. It's not too cold. There's lots of food. You can build a nice nest. So those are some things that animals might be doing. One other thing I didn't list down is animals might be losing their winter coat and getting their spring and summer coat. For example, those big bunny rabbits we saw in the wintertime that turned white. If you spot one now, he's going to start to look a little bit more brown or gray so he can blend into the backgrounds in spring and summer. He'd stand out pretty good if he was white, and he doesn't want to become anybody's lunch. Tadpoles are being born and the fish are starting to come back up to the surface. So go ahead, my friends, and think of all the things you can imagine that people, plants, and animals do in spring from all of our conversations and stories. And look outside and watch. See what you see and make us a nice little 3-part chart. What I know about spring. That's our writing activity for today, my friends. Have a wonderful Monday.